Welcome to the Texas Tech Noyce program presentation. I am the PI, Jerry Dwyer. My co-PIs on this program are Provost Michael Gallion, Mathematics faculty members Reagan Higgins and Brock Williams, and STEM Center Director Dr. Jill White. The focus of our program is to recruit 27 high school math teachers over the next 3 or 4 years. The program will begin by recruiting learning assistants in their sophomore years who will hopefully have an interest in teaching and be recruited into the scholarship program in their junior and senior years. The program has just begun with the learning assistant program in the spring of 2020. My co-PI will describe this shortly. I will also mention that we are partnering with Midland College and South Plains College, who will have a smaller learning assistant program, and their students will transfer to Texas Tech when they complete their 2 years at the community college. Finally, I will also mention that our learning assistant program was chosen for a Noyce supplement, and we have some research on that which will be shared later in the year.
Last spring, I taught a section of Calculus 2. Our 12 learning assistants, or LAs, that we had recruited, worked in the class to help the students as we went along. So for example, I would lecture for 15 or 20 minutes, then I would give the students a problem to work on, and each LA had an assigned group of about 10 students that they would work with to finish each problem. This worked really well until the pandemic hit and we had to switch to teaching remotely after spring break. After that, the learning assistants and I did more or less the same thing, but online using Zoom for our class meetings and in breakout rooms to allow the students to work with their LAs. Each of the LAs then wrote weekly reflections. They met with Ken Griffith and myself to work on pedagogy and their content knowledge. So one of the things we've learned from this is clearly the learning assistants are a very important high impact practice that made a huge difference in the content knowledge and the confidence of the learning assistants, and also in the knowledge of the students. The grades, as you can see from our chart, were much higher with the learning assistants, and in fact the improvement was greater as we went along through the semester. We'll have several of these learning assistants which will be Noyce scholars for us in the fall. If we could change a few things, one thing we might have done is asked more funding for technology, because once we switched to teaching online, it was more difficult for the LAs to connect using Zoom without their own dedicated technology to use. And also, what we would like to do in the future is expand our learning assistant program across other STEM disciplines and with other faculty throughout our university.